There's a skunk the other night. I almost got it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the far end of the field and we'll work our way back. That way we know that we've got enough hose for all of this, but yeah, we'll see. That seems like a pretty good distance there. I don't know if we've got enough hose down here for this. Probably going to have to pull myself up by my bootstraps and get out here a couple hours later into the night and just do the hard work of moving these. There's scary stuff out here in the pasture at night. There's a skunk the other night. I almost got it. Then I thought, I don't have a good bead on it. If I miss it and I wake up the neighbors because I'm shooting in the middle of the night, I won't have anything to show for it. If I'm waking up the neighbors by shooting, I'd at least like to have something to show for it. We didn't shoot no skunk the other night. Yeah, this is gonna be a feat to get this all watered by the end of the week. Now if you look here, like, it's not doing terrible. This is some of the grass that we planted right there. All right, so it's coming up. You can tell this has a little bit of heat stress on it. That one lower blade of grass there. This alfalfa has a little bit of heat stress on it. Okay, so it's not doing terrible though. It's not all bad. What we've got here is, if you dig down a little bit, you can feel a tiny bit of moisture in the soil. So that's good at least. A week ago you couldn't feel anything. So the pasture isn't looking horrible, but it's also not looking awesome like it should already. I mean, we've even got corn out here that's not doing so good. It's just volunteer corn from last year's crop. And what do they say? It's supposed to be knee high by July. It's barely ankle high. Now we do have some grass out here that's volunteer, or that's from last year. That stuff is looking okay. But that's not the grass that we planted. We can't risk it, because this is the foundation of everything else we're building. If we don't get pasture, we don't have food to feed our animals. Not the number of animals that we'd like to get into. So we need a solid 4 to 5 acres of pasture to build up to what we want to do for rotational grazing, and then I think we'd be good. Next year I think we could probably have 50 sheep if we wanted to, but not with only a little over a couple acres of pasture. So we need this other 3.8 acres of pasture to come in, or we ain't doing nothing. Be awesome next year. We just got to make sure that we get to next year with all of this. Like I was saying, it's not terrible out here, but I want it to look awesome. It needs to be awesome because we've got big goals, big plans. You know, we didn't come out with no little dinky goals and plans. We weren't just like, we're gonna get ourselves a place in the country and then just sit back and watch the grass grow. This year you can't. That grass ain't gonna grow unless you're helping it. So with that one over there and this one here, we move them down this way and then ka-chunk, and then down this way and then ka-chunk, and then down this way. All the way across the pasture. It's the best I could do. Went to Baumgart's to get these. They only had 2 in stock. And that was after the second Baumgart's I checked. The first one I went to, they were all out of stock of both farm and ranch duty hoses and these sprinklers, completely out of stock. So I found plenty of hoses at the second one, but I only found 2 of these sprinklers. So now I hope I have enough hoses to reach all the way out here to get us started. And if not, we'll steal some other hoses from around the farm. Something. I'm just gonna let it grow. I don't even know what it is, I don't care. You should look it up on your phone.
Yeah, I will.
I found $1.
Dollars are growing out here in the field.
Dollar in the holler. Salsifies. Seems like what it, yeah. Tragopagan, also known as goat's beard or salsify, is a genus of flowering plants in the sunflower family. I wonder if the sheep would enjoy that. Opposed to having something out here that we didn't plant. Got plenty of stuff. The sheep love this. They'll eat this down to the stock. Wild lettuce. Yeah, look at the heat stress on that. I mean, it's still doing all right. But the chickens love this. They love the, they like grass, but when they're about out of grass, they'll go after this, the tender parts especially, the leaves. They don't mind the little spines. The sheep haven't been eating on it so much yet, but we let them eat enough of the grass, they'd get around to eating that. All right, so I just want to come over here and make sure that was set correctly. We got some red clover growing out here. It's a little more sparse, but we're finding it. A medium red clover. That's what they recommended for a perennial pasture mix. I'm excited though. I think this is gonna work out. I think that the grass is tall enough now. We got some orchard grass. I think we got some timothy. We got some fescue, tall fescue, smooth brome. I'm seeing a little bit of different grass everywhere I look, so looks like it all came up. Fleabanes and horseweed.
It's a daisy family. Part of a
sure.
daisy family.
Yeah. It's so strange, you know, you look at some of these and you're like, that's nothing beautiful like a daisy, but that's, you know, you hear it's from the daisy family and then you're like, oh yeah, I can see the resemblance. Barely there, but sure. Looks like daisies that we pulled out of the field. Kinda. Bunch of it all over, so if it's daisies, sheep should be able to eat that too. I do want to know what this stuff is, because it's everywhere. Like everything else, but it's one of those weeds that I've seen everywhere I've ever lived. It's always there. What the heck is it? Herbaceous flowering plants known as goosefoots, which occur almost anywhere in the world. We have a very diverse pasture. There are some plants that grow on this end that don't grow on that end. There's
Like
some
thistles.
plants that grow everywhere. But then there's certain things that, well, thistles are kind of all around the edge. But then we've got, I think, some plantain that is growing over here, but you don't see any of it over there or on the north end. Hey, chick, 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 chick. What's up, Clyde? What you doing, buddy? Hey, Bonnie. You being a good girl? You staying out of trouble? I heard the law was looking for you. You guys better lay low. Yeah, sheriff was around here looking for you. I know. It's terrible. We're gonna need one more 100-foot roll of hose. Either 450 to 500 feet, somewhere around there. All right, so we got all this hose set up out here. And we're about to turn this on and see if this works. This is about, well, this is well over 500 foot of hose, probably over 600 foot of hose that we got to get out this far from the nearest hydrant. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna switch over to just the far sprinkler, make sure that we're getting pressure out there. So I gotta turn one of these valves off. I can hear the air, pushing that air. Do you hear that? That is all that air that's built up in the hose. And it's just pushing that air out. Here we go. All right, we got water.
Bella, what are you doing to Pumpkin?
Great success!